Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. And thanks everybody for all the prayers and thoughts around us and what happened with Ben the other day, where we had to go to the ER and he got some stitches. It's like he's going to be totally good. And one thing that I thought about this morning is I was thinking, what's the video session today about? You know, years ago, I was a little kid and there was an ad or some kind of advertisement of some type in a magazine, and it was all about a GI Joe, the little GI Joe doll. It's kind of like a Barbie, except it's an army guy, and I just looked at it every day, and it got so bad for my sister that she couldn't stand it because I wasn't playing anymore. I wasn't playing anything anymore. I was just like looking at this thing, and I guess I was like probably in my imaginary world, just like fantasy world, playing with this GI Joe doll. It's what I wanted so bad, and that's all I thought about. And she got so frustrated that she one day she tore up my page from whatever magazine that was of GI Joe, and it was completely obliterated because she wanted to play with me, and I was devastated. And another thing I remember is when I was in, we moved from Del Rio, Texas to Madison, Wisconsin, just outside of Madison, a little town called Middleton, right across the Lake Mendota from Madison, for my mom to get her PhD in psycholinguistics. And in eighth grade there, I came in eighth grade. They used to call me Tex because I was from Texas. And it's so interesting how we have different beliefs that show up. But that's another story, another video. But anyway, I was right at about, I guess it was in the early 70s. And Adidas had a shoe out called the Adidas ROM, R-O-M. And it was white leather with 3 blue stripes. It was beautiful. And it was new and it was cool. And all the kids had this Adidas ROM. I mean, it was like the hot shoe. And I wanted it so bad. And so then my parents took me to Payless shoes, and I got a knockoff version of it that was white with 4 stripes. Devastating because it wasn't the Adidas ROM. It was like a knockoff, and it had 4 stripes. And it just was like, oh God, I got to go to school with this Payless shoes, and everybody else has the really cool Adidas ROM. And what I noticed is I've become a shoe guy. Like I love shoes. And I think I used to joke around that I think part of the reason I ran so many miles and I was a runner was I just love shoes, and I love to race. So I love to get racing shoes and spikes and have all these different shoes. And my friend up here in Bellingham says every runner should have a quiver of shoes, like a whole bunch of shoes, like a bunch of arrows, a bunch of shoes. You got your trail shoes, you got your road shoes, you got your walk around shoes, you got your technical shoes, you got your cushion shoes, you got your recovery shoes. You should have all these different shoes. And I think by not having gotten the Adidas ROM, maybe it instilled something in me where it's like, this is really important. And I think part of it is too how I became such a runner even later in life. You know, I'm getting ready to have my birthday. I can't believe it's coming up on my 60th birthday. But I think part of the reason I kept in the running game and I love running so much is I had some coaches. I had a great coach in Wisconsin, but then and I was doing really well as a freshman and sophomore. But then we moved back to Del Rio and had a coach, was a sprinter coach, but he had different training. And I always ran better in the summer when I was training myself than when I was in the actual track season when he was training me. I had just terrible track seasons in high school. But in the summer meets, I was doing really well when I trained myself. So much so that he asked me the end of my senior year, at the end of the summer, what are you doing? And I told him, and so he started putting it in place for the kids coming through. And then they started having a pretty good team there with the distance runners. But I think I kept thinking about that later in life. And I think it's part of the reason I just keep running, because I love running. And I kind of missed out a little bit on, I think I kind of think back sometimes. I tell Jen, like, oh man, if I would have had a good coach, I could have done this in high school. Like I was pretty good, but I was like, And I think that's part of a thing that kind of keeps me wanting to run. Maybe it's something that's instilled something in me, but now I love to run and it's part of what I do. And the not getting my shoes, the Adidas ROM, could have been why I just love shoes. I'm a shoe guy, shoe dog. And so who knows what all of our challenges are all about, but that's what showed up this morning. And I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about it and what happens with you and, what you haven't been able to get and how it's inspired action and driven your life and that sort of thing. And let me know. And just to let you know, my parents way back in the day, they ended up getting me a GI Joe. It was awesome. So I will talk to you all tomorrow. I hope you're having a great day. And let's get out there and live. Let's really live.